A Delta passenger calls the cops on Mykki Blanco because he was uncomfortable. The Delta passenger was uncomfortable sitting next to Mykki Blanco. So if you're unfamiliar with Mykki Blanco, he's a gay rapper, he's an activist, he's a poet. So we all caught news after Mykki tweeted the incident. I just looked at the story, even though this happened a day or so ago. There have been no updates to the story as of yet. So right now we only have Mykki Blanco's account. But let me read what Mykki tweeted. Mykki tweeted, "I just took a flight from Toronto to Detroit, Michigan. When I woke up, the gentleman sitting next to me had the police called. He said that he was not comfortable and did not know how Delta allowed, quote, someone like me, unquote, to board the plane with him and sit next to him. This is real, Delta. Then I was told by a police officer that an FBI report would be made from our interaction, except I did not interact. I was told I would go to jail if I continued to ask questions about why this police officer was giving preferential treatment to this man. I was then told I could file a report myself and give my side of the story, but the entire incident itself is fabricated. This is the most bizarre form of homophobia I have ever encountered." So Delta replied back to one of Mykki Blanco's earlier tweets. They replied, "Hi, Mykki. I honestly can't believe what my eyes are reading. I'm so very sorry to hear that you had to experience something like this on a Delta flight. Discrimination of any kind isn't tolerated. We love all of our passengers. Would you mind following me for a DM to explain in detail about what happened? I will also need your confirmation code." Again, there's been no follow-up, so I'm not sure how Delta's investigating it. I'm not sure if we've heard from the other passenger. We haven't as of yet, but this story is still developing. Thoughts, 5 words or less.
Slide into those DMs, Delta.
Waking up to a nightmare.
Way to air your grievances.
This is just plain wrong. We've only heard one side of the story. Now, just to reiterate, according to Mykki had no interaction with this passenger, fell asleep, woke up. We were discussing this, Jason, in the before we came on air. So was there a cop on the plane, or what? Or did they land and then they allowed the cop to come on the plane before they deplaned everybody?
I don't know.
And why wouldn't? Okay, and then also, I mean, because we were not there, of course, but Delta, everyone knows how hard it is to get beyond TSA to come onto a plane in 2017. So It didn't make sense. It didn't add up. And then why was the FBI called instead of local police? Like, to call the FBI for something like this
Depending how irrational that phone call was. Maybe that phone call was super irrational, which is not okay, but I would hope that they would somehow investigate before they, if this is true, before they so unjustly believed that Mykki...
Here's my greatest fear, is that it didn't happen. Like, my greatest fear is it didn't happen and someone starts boycotting Delta over this.
I hope, hopefully not.
But okay, yes. Yeah. If, let's say this happened, okay? Sure, it seems like it probably did happen. In that case, that fucking sucks. It seems pretty cut and dry that just because Mykki Blanco looks the way he does and was asleep, so essentially he slept with someone on the plane. But like the fact that he was asleep next to someone, for that person to get the law apparatus on their side to get Mykki Blanco taken away, that's terrible, that's wrong, that's pretty cut and dry in my eyes.
Yeah.
That's very, very important. I think right now what I gravitate toward is like this boycott happy culture that folks are developing before having full information on stuff. It happened with Uber.
Yeah.
Like Uber, I asked people who boycotted Uber and deleted the app, like, why? And none of the people who responded, A, had anything to say. They either didn't have anything to say, and it just like sent me articles, but they didn't read. Or B, like they don't have a good reason. So you need a good, solid reason if you're gonna like put your checkbook to work taking money from
companies. But so
companies.
far, I haven't seen the hashtag boycott Delta, because Delta in this appears to be concerned, appears hopefully to be investigating and doing their due diligence. I hope they do. I know Delta has received criticism in the past in regard to deleting the kissing, the lesbian scenes in Carol.
That's horseshit.
Which was horseshit, is horseshit, when there's so many other movies that you can watch in Delta or TV shows where it's like graphic sex scenes,
and getting murdered.
Yeah, so that's but in this incident, it looks like that Delta is involved. I hope. I mean, this is just their Twitter account, but it appears that they're involved.
They are, and Delta. I mean, I fly Delta a lot, and Delta is very. I mean, this is not the first time this has happened on a plane. It's just the first time someone who's famous has, took to social media and talked about it. But Delta is very quick to rectify even the smallest issue if you tweet about it. So, but I mean, Here's the thing, though. I agree with Brett. My fear is that this is fabricated by Mykki Blanco. Sorry, I'm thinking Mykki Eco.
I feel uncomfortable even saying that because
Right.
we don't know,
We don't
and
know.
I don't want to blame
Absolutely.
the victim. God
Sure.
forbid this happened to him. Let's just, for now, we can be skeptical and we should, but at the same time, I don't want to discount Mykki Blanco as
It's
being
a weird
like a
story,
liar.
though.
I don't.
It's a weird story because it's like, why would the police be involved? Why are they so trigger happy to like arrest or escort someone off the plane if they haven't done anything? If they were sleeping, there's a lot of parts of the story that just simply don't make sense,
Right.
and then you only have one side of it, which is why people are questioning the reality of it because there's a lot of fake news out there.
Right. So you have to
then
ask
you're-
yourself, what
but-
do you
but-
do with this information? And the thing you do with this information is say, is not go after Delta until all facts are out on the table. It's not to go after
Mykki Blanco.
Mykki Blanco. There you go.
Right.
Mykki Blanco for fabricating a story. You just hang out for a
Yeah.
second.
Right.
I agree.
Because it's developing.
I agree. It's developing, and we'll figure out. I don't know if we'll have a follow up to it.
And
or
what is
not,
Delta
but-
gonna? I'm sorry. What is and if it is true, how it's not Delta's fault that this person
No.
called. So Delta's. What is Delta gonna do? Give them 25,000 miles, free
Well-
mile?
Sometimes they give
What would be Delta's responsibility in all this?
I don't know. We would have to look into that because if it is true, and I don't know what type of protocols Delta would have to take in order to listen to a passenger and then allow to have a cop come on the plane or allow that to happen.
Right.
If they did indeed do something that jumped the gun without waking perhaps this other person up, which would be Mykki Blanco, and finding out Mykki's side of the story before a police officer
Sure.
came on. I don't know what they could have done differently or better. I'm glad that they're looking into it. If this is true, I would hope that this passenger would suffer some repercussions because that's just pure.
Probably won't, though.
Also,
Yeah,
I
okay.
would love for the passenger to come forward and talk and
So
give
far
their,
not.
Yeah, give
so
their side
far,
of the story.
So far not, and this is developing, and perhaps we'll have a follow-up episode on this later on in the week. So please share your thoughts in the comment section below. We'll see you next time on Pop Sugar.